female Tridev or something.
Yeah.
But forgetting the name of the movie. So he just.
You're watching News 9 Live. I am Krishna Kumar. I'm joined by our political editor Brajesh Pandey in the studio for Stalin's show of strength. That's what we're discussing at this hour. Now, the meeting held by Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin included luminaries from the entire spectrum of the opposition. And while the DMK has explicitly made it clear that its All India Social Justice Forum has no political intent, the BJP in particular is seeing it as yet another attempt by M.K. Stalin to corral the opposition under a common banner ahead of the 2024 Lok Sabha elections. And in this meeting, in attendance were leaders such as Chief Minister Hemant Soren of the Jharkhand Mukti Morcha JMM, Bihar's Deputy Chief Minister, the RJD's Tejasvi Yadav, the left's Sitaram Yechuri and D. Raja, Samajwadi Party President Akhilesh Yadav, the Aam Aadmi Party's Sanjay Singh, and senior Trinamool Congress leader Derek O'Brien, and others from as many as 20 parties in the opposition. Now, whether it's about beating the BJP in 2024 or about the unity among the opposition in the country at large, the big focus now is on M.K. Stalin, who is no doubt trying to emerge as a fountainhead of sorts for the opposition. On the show today, we are discussing whether this strategy by M.K. Stalin will indeed manage to bring the entire opposition under a common objective long enough to be able to counter the BJP juggernaut, or will it, like similar initiatives in the past, crumble as months go by before D-Day arrives in 2024? Joining me in the studio is, of course, Brajesh Pandey, our political editor, and we also have Arun Sundaram joining us and Vishnu Verma joining us as well. Let me begin with Brajesh Pandey. Brajesh, we've seen a lot of opposition leaders try to be the, bringing the opposition together attempts. We've seen KCR do it, Mamata do it, but this is big because this is the entire spectrum of the opposition coming together, and this is a social justice forum which is not new for the DMK. They've been doing the social justice forum meetings for decades because this is part of the entire Dravidian movement. But can social justice as a strategy unite all the opposition?
Well, to be honestly, I don't think so, because, we have to understand that what is at the stake here. The stake is the post of Prime Minister, and the stake is to form government. Now, the first question which arises is that can this conglomeration, can this group of parties get together, A, decide on the leadership, B, and can they actually defeat Bharatiya Janata Party? I don't think that there's any affirmative answer for all the three questions. There is an attempt which is being made by Mamata Banerjee when we see, Akhilesh Yadav and Arvind Kejriwal visiting her, and then she went on to visit Naveen Patnaik and a couple of other political parties. The same as the KCR doing the same thing. So this could be, gathering of a large gathering of a diverse political group. But I think, the thing is that there are several groups, several parties which are sitting in this Zoom link or this meeting with Zoom link, who are opposed to Congress party per se, being part of the opposition group. So basically, see, there's no clarity of how exactly do they want to go about forming the government. And until unless that emerges as to how they will Congress leave state of Uttar Pradesh for Samajwadi Party, will the rest of the group leave, say, Chhattisgarh, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh and Punjab for Congress Party, will Congress leave West Bengal for Mamata Banerjee? So say there's so much dichotomy within this group, the chances of that this succeeding is pretty much difficult.
Very difficult. Arun Sundaram also joins us now, and Vishnu Verma, assistant editor of News 9 Live, also with us now. Let me take us across to Vishnu Verma. We have Arun Sundaram. Arun, let me take us across to you first. Tell us, in terms of this entire coming together, what are you picking up from your sources? What are the likelihoods that there could be a compromise?
Well, Krishna, it looks like at this point of time, this is more to do with a platform being set aside. It's not necessarily something that's going to take root or shape immediately. Remember, there is a bigger message. Everyone is saying that this is a social justice platform that Stalin is trying to carve out, etc. But he is trying to now prove. Remember, the elections for the Tamil Nadu Assembly took place in the year 2021. You spent a large portion of your time in 2021 battling the COVID pandemic. And then 2022, you were slowly bringing things back to normalcy as far as the state of Tamil Nadu is concerned. Now is the time for the DMK, for Stalin to perhaps prove to the outside world that he is no longer a papa's boy. Remember, when you said or when you refer to DMK, the one strong figurative that came to your mind or your mind's eye for that matter was that of Karunanidhi, Muthuvel Karunanidhi, man who was in charge of DMK. He single-handedly built it up after MGR broke away from the erstwhile DMK in the late 60s and carved out what is called the Anna Dravida Munnetra Kazhagam. So this DMK that we know of today is the one that is Stalin's baby. So he is trying to convey a political message that, look, we are no longer a regional outfit. We do have a national aspiration. We are talking of the same issues of Hindi imposition, of, the downtrodden not getting their voice, and so on and so forth. So the social justice platform, I would say, is more of a play as far as Stalin is concerned. He is, remember, he was a king in waiting for nearly 5-6 decades because Karunanidhi was in charge of DMK. He was the one who was the go-to person as far as
and his turn finally came with the 2021 Tamil Nadu State Assembly elections. It's true. Arun Chandra, they are recollecting the entire political legacy of MK Stalin. Stay with us. Let me take this across to Vishnu Verma, assistant editor, News9 Live, who also joins us. Vishnu Verma, tell us, the thing is that this is MK Stalin's show of strength, so to speak, and there's a lot of dichotomy within this opposition, especially in the northern half of the country. Do you think that this common platform will at least unite all the southern states with the MK Stalin at the helm?
Well, good evening, Krishna. I think it's too early to say anything. Right now, MK Stalin, the TN Chief Minister, has a wonderful rapport with Kerala Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan. He was recently seen with Pinarayi Vijayan at the movement of the Vaikyam Satyagraha centenary celebrations. Both of them, the CPM is an ally of the DMK in Tamil Nadu. They have similar principles. Both parties share similar principles. So I think it's too early to say whether they'll have some kind of a unity among the southern states. For example, the Karnataka is ruled by the BJP, and it has also, it is also a state where the Congress is also a major player. Telangana, Andhra, both these states are ruled by regional parties. Yes, KCR has been seen with MK Stalin at multiple programs, whereas YS Jagannath Reddy has kept a sort of equidistant from both BJP and Congress in the past and other regional parties. But what I think MK Stalin has done is basically brought together all these opposition parties together for ahead of the general elections. Yeah, he's a leader who is clearly saying that, yes, we need to take on the BJP quite decisively, and it cannot be done without the Congress. MK Stalin has always enjoyed very close relations with the Congress party, including the present leadership of Rahul Gandhi as well. He was at the inauguration of the Bharat Jodo Yatra in Kanyakumari. Meanwhile, Rahul Gandhi was also seen at the birthday celebrations of MK Stalin. So both of them enjoy a close relationship. But whether these parties like the CPM, say the Trinamool Congress, TRS, for example, these parties, would they be willing to share a space with the Congress in a opposition grouping ahead of the 2024 elections is something I think that we still need to wait and watch.
Wait and watch is the word coming from Vishnu Verma. Stay with us, Vishnu. Let's quickly listen to all the political reactions coming in, and then we'll continue this discussion.
सोशल जस्टिस के मुद्दे को लेकर आज जिस विषय पे हम लोग चर्चा कर रहे हैं, इसकी वर्षों से लड़ाई चली आ रही। एक व्यक्ति किसके घर में पैदा होगा, ये उसके हाथ में नहीं होता। एक व्यक्ति किस जाति में पैदा होगा, ये उसके हाथ में नहीं होता। जब वो बड़ा हो जाता है, समझदार हो जाता है, तो उसको बताया जाता है कि आप अछूत हो। जन्म के आधार पर भेदभाव की व्यवस्था का हम लोग विरोध करते हैं और सामाजिक न्याय का मूल सिद्धांत यही होना चाहिए। भारत का संविधान, बाबा साहब डॉक्टर भीमराव अंबेडकर ने जो संविधान इस देश को दिया, उस संविधान की मूल आत्मा क्या है, उसकी प्रस्तावना क्या है? प्रस्तावना सामाजिक बराबरी की बात करती है, प्रस्तावना आर्थिक बराबरी की बात करती है। लेकिन आजादी के 75 साल के बाद भी अगर बुलंदशहर में सीआरपीएफ के जवान को थाने में एप्लीकेशन देनी पड़ती है कि मैं दलित समाज से हूं, मुझे पुलिस प्रोटेक्शन दीजिए, तब मैं घोड़ी पर बैठ के जाऊंगा, इसका मतलब आज भी छुआछूत और भेदभाव की व्यवस्था है। अगर आजादी के 75 साल के बाद भी कर्नाटका के अंदर एक मेंबर ऑफ पार्लियामेंट को गांव में इसलिए घुसने नहीं दिया जाता उद्घाटन करने के लिए क्योंकि वो दलित कम्युनिटी से है, अगर आजादी के 75 साल के बाद भी हाथरस जैसा कांड होता है, अगर आजादी के 75 साल के बाद भी मध्य प्रदेश में एक दलित को शमशान में अंतिम संस्कार नहीं करने दिया जाता, इसका मतलब आज भी सामाजिक न्याय का मुद्दा जीवंत है। बराबरी चाहिए और गैर बराबरी के खिलाफ हमारी लड़ाई जारी रहेगी।
Congratulations to Mr. Stalin for putting this together. And just to save time, I have the permission, I suppose, of all the dignitaries to say good evening to each one of you without mentioning anyone by name. On behalf of the All India Trinamool Congress and its chairperson, Chief Minister of West Bengal, Ms. Mamata Banerjee, I'm happy to share a few thoughts. So let's dive straight in. Let's look at the scheduled castes and scheduled tribes. UP reported the highest number of cases, 26% UP. Which party runs UP? We know the answer. Madhya Pradesh reported the highest number of cases at 30%. Which party runs Madhya Pradesh? We know the answer. Women. Crimes against women have increased by 15%. Sadly, there are 86 cases of rape every day. Kolkata, fortunately, where I come from, is the least crime population from the metropolitan cities. And we had 11 rapes, but that's even 11 rapes too many. I want to give you very, very quickly some examples of Bengal to share, which can become a model. My friend Mr. Wilson was telling us about Tamil Nadu, and I think it's a great learning experience where states can learn and share good ideas from each other. The Kanyashri scheme in Bengal touches 81 lakh girls. It's a cash allowance which has been awarded. It's got a lot of international awards. The Vivekananda Scholarship has benefited 8 lakh students. That's from economically backward sections. The Rupashri is a cash transfer scheme for women.
Thank you, Mr. Stalin, for this meeting, and to all the other leaders that have joined in this movement for India to grow for all. Those who have been deprived for years need to be brought out of that poverty and have to be given better life. That is what India should be for everyone. And for that, we must unite. And unless we unite and we form a central government, many of these things will not be possible. Anyway, we will try in our states to see where the states are being ruled by people other than the party that is in Delhi. Maybe they will be able to implement some of these things that Mr. Stalin has been able to do in Tamil Nadu. He has done a wonderful work. He has continued the legacy of Periyar and his father. And I'm sure this movement will continue in the rest of the nation. No doubt, many speakers before me have put before you the condition that OBCs face, the Adivasis face, the downtrodden face. But let us not forget that even in Brahmins, there are people who are still downtrodden. I have seen that myself. So if we want to build a future of India, India which will really shine, Now let's think of all, irrespective what their religion is, what their caste is, what their creed is, to where they belong, what their language is. Unless we do that, this will remain a dream for this nation.
Right, those were the opposition voices who have attended this particular meet called by Stalin. We have Brijesh Pandey continuing to be with us, our political editor. Brijesh, clearly, those big words, the opposition must unite. Yeah, we know they must unite, but the reality is so far away from it all. In the sense that, like, the question is at this stage, where does the Congress party lie in the scheme of things? Even if Stalin has great relations with the Congress party, how will he convince other opposition parties in this coalition to accommodate the Congress party?
No, he just cannot. And usually a coalition succeeds only when you have one party as the largest party and the rest of the parties gravitating towards it. Majority of the parties, Aam Aadmi Party, Trinamool Congress and others, they have made it very clear that they won't want to have any alliance with the Congress party, because they know that when it comes to straight-on one-on-one fight between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Rahul Gandhi, Modi wins hands down, and they don't want that to go to their state. They know how important winning maximum number of seats in their respective state is. That is the reason why you see a greater camaraderie, say, between Mamata Banerjee and Akhilesh Yadav and Arvind Kejriwal rather than with Rahul Gandhi. And there is no way anybody can convince anybody to join a particular front till the numbers are out there. I don't think any pre-poll alliance can work in this given scheme of things.
Right.
It is only once you have the numbers so that you can make a very pragmatic call on what to do to keep the BJP out. Till that happens, I don't see any of these third or fourth front succeeding come what may.
Right. Let's just go to Arun Sundaram, who continues to be this. Arun Sundaram, tell us, in terms of MK Stalin and the upcoming 2024 Lok Sabha elections, his alliance in Tamil Nadu is fairly tight from what we understand. So as far as those 39 seats in Tamil Nadu goes, there's a very good chance that DMK and allies can sweep those 39 and become the second largest party again. But the question is, can somebody from that party actually head the opposition alliance? Incidentally, MK Stalin.
That's the million-dollar question, Krishna, because as you rightly pointed out, there are 39 seats up for grab as far as the lower house of the Lok Sabha is concerned. And last time around in 19, they won 38. That when I say 38, it includes not just the DMK, beg your pardon, but it also includes its alliance partner, the Congress, because the Congress also was able to grab a few of them in places like Virudhunagar, Thoothukudi, Sivagangai and all that. Now, that's the big question. 39 seats up for grabs. Yes, the DMK and its alliance partner. You can't talk of Tamil Nadu with just the DMK. You need the alliance partner also in tow, because the Congress in itself cannot make a dent. It cannot contest all the 39 seats and expect to win. It can at best win about 10 or 12 seats. They've done that. So clearly the question is, with that kind of number, will it be possible for the DMK to lay claim to the top post? Will it be possible for the DMK to gravitate from Gopalapuram, where Muthuvel Karunanidhi used to stay, to go to Parliament Street, the seat of decision making, legislative decision making as far as India is concerned? They can do it, but the question is, will their choice of a leader be acceptable?
Fair point.
That is where the problem lies, because you have too many people
Too many.
love to make claim to the top job.
Yeah, like the neighbor next door, KCR. Let's take this across to Vishnu Verma as well. Vishnu Verma, too many people staking claim to that top post who want to unite the opposition. There is KCR, there's Mamata Banerjee, now there is MK Stalin. Where does MK Stalin, in your view, stand in the scheme of things?
I think this conference on social justice certainly was another event planned by the DMK to position MK Stalin as one of the prime ministerial contenders, but I don't know whether that will actually pan out. For example, at the last meeting itself, when reporters asked the national conference chief, Farooq Abdullah, about Stalin's candidacy, he said Stalin would make a great prime minister. But would that really happen? Because Stalin, as I earlier said, has pitched for Rahul Gandhi to be the next prime minister of the country. At several events, he has always said that at the bulwark of any opposition grouping against the BJP, it has to be the center. It has to be the Congress, which is the center of such a grouping. So Stalin, yes, he's the chief minister of Tamil Nadu, and he has gained this post after several decades in the making under the tutelage of his father. He has really taken a lot of time to reach this post, and I think Tamil Nadu is his state. But I don't know whether he harbors any kind of prime ministerial ambitions, or even if he does, would the Congress be willing to give up that post to him if if the Congress-led opposition grouping wins in the general elections next year? I think it's a very complicated question. I think the answers are not clear at this point in time.
Looks like a long road ahead, but clearly this particular meeting, does seem as if, this is a bid by MK Stalin to show some strength for sure. Even if he's not the prime ministerial candidate per se, but literally showing his heft. Because let's not forget, the DMK or the ADMK invariably ends up being the second largest party in the country after the Lok Sabha elections.
Well, they do. And, we should also not forget that many of these things, key players have always been from the south. It was NTR who started against the Congress party. Chandrababu Naidu was the key man, the convener of the NDA. And if MK Stalin harbors any such ambition, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. See, basically, this is testing water, with getting these many people, these many parties together on one plank is literally testing waters. And it's also sending a signal to other aspirants or claimants as to, these many parties I can arrange. Can you do the same? So basically it is just like that.
It's flow management.
It's flow management, and all this social justice agenda and all is just for the consumption of the public. The real attempt is this only.
Now that you're taking me back in history, let's take this back in history. Kamaraj was doing that for the Congress party once upon a time. He was the kingmaker in the Congress party. He nominated Indira Gandhi to become the prime ministerial candidate. When the entire party turned around and said, "Sir, you should be the one who should be the prime ministerial candidate." Who would have thought a non-Hindi speaking person from Tamil Nadu, non-English speaking person would have been the prime ministerial candidate, and he had to give it up. So chances of MK Stalin reaching there are slim, but you can never rule it out.
As Harkishan Singh Surjit very famously said, the kingmaker is more powerful than the king, and that is how it happens. You should remember the kind of reign or the kind of access Chandrababu Naidu had. He was the most go-to after person post the prime minister during the NDA when he was the convener. So it's replete with examples of South chieftains exercising their power, trying to get their pound of flesh at national level politics. They have been there. They have the numbers. And right now, trust me, the only thing which matters is the number. Because they are working not on the chemistry stand, but they're only working on the arithmetic model. 20 seats JDU, RJD does, 40 seats, 30 seats Samajwadi Party does, 39 seats MK Stalin does. So they're just only arithmetic and nothing else.
It's all in the numbers.
It's all in the numbers, and the final result will be out once the numbers are out, and only then a post-poll alliance can be thought of, but only when they have the numbers.
Only when you have the numbers. I'm going to take this because Arun Sundaram ask you something which I've been asking. Arun Sundaram, all right, fine, numbers is one thing. But then again, once you've sought out the numbers, as Brajesh has been telling us, the other big problem that will arise is the Congress party. And you've been telling us about the good relations between, MK Stalin, the DMK and the Congress party. Probably the only people who have good relations even now, as of today. And there you go. There's a problem over there.
Well, Krishna, yes. Now, none of the other states that we've spoken of, barring perhaps to a certain extent Kerala, where the UDF Congress is a dominant partner in the UDF. Now, most of the other states we're talking of, whether it is UP or West Bengal, the Congress is either non-existent or it plays the role of a minor partner. Now, if you were to look at the grand scheme of things, the Congress in itself is not in a pole position as far as Tamil Nadu is concerned. It has to depend on a regional outfit. It at one point of time had an alliance with the ADMK, then shifted it over to DMK, and it's stuck on with the DMK. Now, as far as this question of who would be the leader, and whether it can lay claim, whether the Congress can lay claim to the top job. This occurred to me as a kind of a idea. The DMK has a potential name, and when I say a potential name, I'm talking of PTR, Palanivel Tyagarajan, the incumbent finance minister of Tamil Nadu. He speaks English, extremely articulate, and more importantly, he can convey the viewpoint that the DMK wants to convey of social justice, of being, of treating everyone equally. He's got the same kind of principles that the DMK stands for or Stalin stands for. So the question is, this is my hypothesis. Why not PTR as a possible prime ministerial candidate? He's a person who's gone to the Sloan School of Management. He's got all the right kind of educational qualification that you want. He's got experience. He heads the finance portfolio. He knows what he's talking about. So you do have a leader in the making. But the question is, how far is PTR probably acceptable to this particular platform?
Right.
Will all the political parties that Stalin is able to gather together today, will they be willing to back somebody of the stature of PTR to the top job? If you were to ask me, I would bet my top dollar on PTR for that matter.
All right, that's quite the punt you're taking, Arun Sundaram. Arun Sundaram, thank you so much for joining us. Vishnu Verma, Assistant Editor, News 9 Live, also thank you so much for joining us on this broadcast. And of course, my friend and colleague Brijesh Pandey, Political Editor, being with us on Stalin Show of Strength. And with that, we've completely run out of time here on this discussion. This is Krishna Kumar signing off. Keep it with News 9.